What's up, everybody? We are back after a long hiatus. We are finally back. Got some good old 1v1s for you guys. This time it's gonna be a familiar matchup. It's gonna be the Teal Terran spawning in the top left of Death Aura, Mr. Bbreed, and his opponent rocking the pink, spawning in the bottom right. It's Timbo Slice. So, first thing we gotta mention is these colors. I'm loving it. Very pastel, kinda Easter vibes going on. Bbreed with the light blue, Timbo with the pink. Nice, gentle colors. I don't think we're gonna be seeing too much gentle action here, as Timbo gonna open up with a hatchery for super normal. Goes for a bit of a drone scout just to make sure there's no cheeky barracks going down, and we as observers can see that there is not. Barracks has gone down in its normal location in Bbreed's main base. Gonna be getting his Reaper, and he's left a little spot here for probably a reactor once this Reaper finishes. And he is now going for that expansion on the low ground. Factory coming up, so that confirms the reactor most likely after this marine finishes, probably. Now I should also know both players did take a bit of a break. Bbreed was on vacation in beautiful Iceland for about a week or so, and Timbo had uninstalled the game, I think. Kind of retired temporarily. Now he is back. And we'll see if he is rusty or not. Does get that surround on the Reaper at the cost of, I think, one drone and a bunch of mining time, but pretty worth it to get that Reaper, I think. Now things have kind of settled down. Interesting to note that Timbo went for double creep tumor with his initial 2 queens, and that's a good move to get this creep going at the cost of some larva, but Timbo doesn't spend his money anyway, so he doesn't really need that at the moment. I like that decision, actually. You'll often see pros drop a single creep tumor with one of their queens. Timbo opting for the double. So does that mean he's twice as good as the pros, or half as good? Not sure how that math works out, but this new Timbo is focusing quite a lot on this creep spread, and honestly, I like it. I like it a lot. And he is getting a good number of queens, currently at 4, I believe. 5, rather. Excuse me. And yeah, we can see all these creep tumors just spreading everywhere. These queens dropping their creep tumors, and of course queens excellent for the defense as well. I wouldn't mind seeing him get a few more queens, to be quite honest. I don't think you can have too many queens. Over on the Terran side, it's pretty much what we have come to expect from Bbreed, doing his reactored Hellions as well as Marines, getting stim and combat shields. He already has his starport producing medevacs. No armory just yet, so it's not going to be a Hellbat timing. At least not yet. Is this some kind of evolution to the build? Is he... Well, I thought he was moving out, but no, he went back into his main base. Gonna get this Overlord that flew through the base for a scout. And that's gonna supply Timbo pretty badly. Look at that supply, 66 out of 58. He's desperately trying to make 4 Overlords, but they are taking their time. That's gonna affect his economy quite a bit, as they now do pop, and he does have that free supply once again. The creep, it looks like he hasn't been too on top of it. This creep tumor, a little bit slow, and as I say that, he does realize and start spreading it once again. Also, good number of Zerglings. He does have his Baneling nest ready. He does have a lair. He's working on that Baneling speed, but the Terran army is coming. And does Timbo have enough? That's the golden question right now. The Hellions show up maybe a little ahead of the pack, and Timbo's gonna get, what is that, 3 of them for practically free. And that is an excellent pick-off. Bbreed kind of miscontrolling his units, letting a few of those Hellions die too quickly, and now the rest of the army has joined up. It's going to be up to Timbo. One of those queens tanking that Widowmine shot. That is good. Would rather that hit the queens than the banelings, but oh, how is this going to go? Looks like the Widowmine shots weren't the best, so Timbo gonna be able to clean that up for the most part. A couple Widowmines still burrowed. 2 medevacs, 2 marauders, and oh, that's a big shot though. 19 kills on that one. But Timbo's still gonna be able to clean that up, and that is a hold. Just as his +1 finishes, he didn't even need that for the fight, and now he is in a pretty good spot. He's up on workers, he's up on upgrades. Just gonna have to be careful of these Widowmines and this small army, but I do think Timbo has enough currently. And kind of out of position, so might lose a few drones, but should be able to run back. Let's see how much damage Bbreed's going to be able to find, and not too much actually. I don't know if he even got any of those drones, so a good pull away from Timbo. He's going to have to clean up these Widowmines, but oh, another big shot there. But yeah, he is going to be able to clean this up once again. 2 drones did go down, but all in all, pretty decent defense from Timbo, who is now working on his 4th base. Worker count, not excellent, but he did survive, and that is the most important thing. Bbreed looks like he still wants to try to attack. I do think he's kind of missed his window. Now Timbo has a lot of Zerglings. The lack of Banelings might end up hurting him though. And let's see how this next attack does. I think Timbo should buy time for his upgrades to finish, at least the armor, but no, he's gonna go in anyways. And is that gonna cost him? Loses a lot of those lings to the Widowmines, but the remaining surviving lings, are they gonna be enough? Looks like barely no, but Bbreed doesn't have too much army left remaining. Now Timbo's trying to remake his army, and Bbreed's gonna have a small window here to find some damage. Timbo's gonna run in once again with no Banelings, and I think that's a mistake, but his upgrades are done. He does have 2-1 right now, and that is actually pretty massive compared to the 0-0 from the Terran player. Now Hydras are on the field as well. We all know Timbo loves his Hydras, and just look at the damage they're able to do, and they're able to hit air as well. So Timbo gonna be able to clean this up for real this time. And Bbreed, all he has left is this one medevac that's just flying home with its tail between its legs, sitting on 36 HP. And Bbreed trying to get his third up, but I think Timbo, if he wanted to, could actually go for a nice counterattack. Worker count's actually very even. Timbo was focusing a lot on the defense, as we can see. He never really fully saturated this third. His natural is okay. Not really mining optimally off of those gases. And main is fine as well. Also, an issue with those gases. Not sure why. Is that intentional or what? But whoa, what's happening? Bbreed going for another attack, and Timbo pouncing on it right away. Once again, lack of banelings, but does that matter? He has so many Hydras. Hail Hydra. And Timbo, 56 Zerglings in the production tab. These Hydras just got their muscular augments, so they're going to be faster off creep. Don't really help them on creep, but this is more than enough. Timbo's going to back up and wait for Zerglings. I think that is a wise choice. You don't really want to fight with just Hydras. You need the meat shields, and that's exactly what the Zerglings provide. The one criticism I have for Timbo is the lack of banelings, but he is sitting on a very comfortable lead right now. Maybe he doesn't even need them. Scan going down from Bbreed to try to clear up some of this creep. Timbo says, you're not touching my creep. And he goes and just dives on top of the army, and GG is going to get called. Timbo going to take a pretty commanding game number 1. Welcome back, folks. This is game number 2 in this series between the lovely teal Terran Bbreed and the pink Zerg Timbo Slice. Timbo currently leading the series 1-0. Pretty solid defensive play out of Timbo there, just swatting away all of Bbreed's attacks, gaining himself a solid lead. But I do think Bbreed made a significant error with that first attack. His 5 Hellions got ahead of the rest of the pack. He lost 3 of them for free. The other 2 kind of took some damage. And would that have made the difference? I don't know. But 3 extra Hellions definitely would have helped a lot, and maybe, just maybe, that would have been enough to end Timbo with that one attack. So, bit of a mistake from Bbreed last game. Let's see if he changes things up or executes better this game. Timbo gonna be the one to change things up, actually. Going for a pool first. Now, this wasn't super early or anything, so I think it's just kind of a safety pool, just in case there's any proxy shenanigans, which, again, we see is not happening. but this Overlord went on a path to kind of scout for that. So that's definitely been on Timbo's mind. We did see him go for a drone scout last game as well, and Bbreed with the 2 gases. So this is going to be some kind of tech-heavy play. We do see Bbreed go for battle cruisers once in a while. So if I had to make a prediction, I would say that's probably what he's going for. The factory coming down. And we'll have to wait and see if it's going to be battle cruisers, but I do expect a starport going down somewhere back here just to hide from the scouting. Is that gonna happen? He is getting his natural expansion on location. And the barracks gonna float up, make a tech lab, as well as a reactor on the factory. No starport just yet, so maybe not, but maybe yes. There it goes, starport behind the mineral lines. So this is going to be pretty difficult for Timbo to scout. If he flies in from the top, the idea is that Marines will get it before it can scout. And if he flies in from this side, well, there's just no chance that Overlord survives. But no Marines just yet. If Timbo were to go in, maybe he would have a chance, as the first Marine does pop out. And there goes the fusion core, so indeed we are going to see battle cruisers, and it's going to be up to Timbo to sniff this out. Once again, he's focusing pretty heavily on the creep spread. I like that, but he does need more queens, which he is making, to his credit. 2 additional queens. And he's currently sitting on 3, so that's going to bring him up to 5. That's some quick maths for you. And in fact, he started another one, so 3. That's going to bring him up to 6. And that's a good number to defend against battle cruisers, as long as they are all together. Of course, they are currently a bit split up, so battle cruiser warping in could still do a lot of damage, as it is now starting. Gonna be about a minute or so away, but the scouting non-existent from Timbo at the moment, and some Hellions on the prowl as well. So this is gonna be the classic battlecruiser Hellion combo, but Bbreed going ahead with the 4 Hellions. The defensive setup from Timbo pretty solid. He has 1 spine crawler, 5 queens here in position. Still gonna lose a few drones, 6 of them to be exact. At the cost of the 4 Hellions though, I think that's a fair trade, to be quite honest. 400 minerals versus the 300, I think. Yeah, 300 for the 6 drones. So, decent trade. And Timbo's queen count, pretty solid right now. 8 queens. I like that number a lot. 8 queens. That's going to be enough to defend against a lot of stuff. Of course, they do need to be together. So, first battlecruiser warping in. Going to be able to find some free damage here. 1, 2, 3, 4 drones so far. But queens have arrived, and they're going to be able to push back this battlecruiser as long as the micros there. Gotta control your army a little bit better. 7 drones so far, and with the transfuse, that 1 queen getting so low. 9 drones so far, and oh no, this 3rd base completely naked, and that is a weakness of the queens. They are a bit slow and clunky. Timbo, he had so many queens, he still has in fact, but 16 drones, that is some big damage. He did not make any spore crawlers amidst all that, and so going to suffer some substantial losses, but he preserves all the queens, and that's going to help a lot against this follow-up attack of 4 Hellions, bunch of Marines. Still probably want to get some real fighting units though. Queens are good, but I don't know if they can beat this army by themselves. And Timbo floating a lot of money, as he usually do. He did throw down 8 spore crawlers, but where are the lings? Where are any fighting units? Now the queens back up to the support of the spine crawler, and that might be enough to defend. Maybe? And they've actually bought enough time for the Zerglings to come out, so I think he will be okay for now. Still floating a lot of money. So many queens. You should have enough injects to produce larvae, but don't see too much in the way of production for the Zerg player. I guess he just doesn't have enough larvae right now. He does have 20 lings on the way, additional queen, Hydralisk Den as well. But Timbo has really been scrambling since that initial battle cruiser kind of ravaged his drone line. He is sitting on a bit of a lead, 42 to now 41. But of course the Terran player has mules, and in fact the Terran has 3 command centers, so that's triple mules, triple SCV production, and now the Terran has taken the lead in terms of worker. So Timbo, ooh, is he setting up a bit of a flank? That's kind of cute. And yeah, he's gonna run in with lings from the back, queens from the front. These Whittle Mines doing a lot of damage, but Timbo is able to kind of clean it up, but loses all of his lings, and he's going to tap out with 1.2k minerals and gas. Oh, that is painful. Welcome back. We are all tied up now in this series between the Teal Terran Bbreed and switching things up. It's now the Red Zerg Timbo Slice. So Timbo maybe feels that the pink was a little too soft, has now decided to wear red. Red more fierce. Maybe that's gonna help him in this third game. I don't think he was completely out in the last game. I didn't really see his larva count, but he did tap out with a lot of money in the bank. So maybe he could have actually bought more time and produced more units, but he did really take too much damage from that initial battle cruiser, which is kind of painful because he had so many queens. I think he had something like 8 or 9 when the battle cruiser showed up, and 8 or 9 queens beats a battle cruiser straight up. But the battle cruiser has the advantage of flying around, abusing the terrain, abusing the map, and yeah, Timbo's control wasn't optimal. He should have made spore crawlers as soon as he saw the battle cruiser, and maybe split his queens a little bit, I don't know, I think he definitely could have executed a little bit better, but props to Bbreed for that strategy. Going for the battle cruiser rush. And now we're all tied up. So game number 3, Timbo once again went for a pull first. And ooh, this one Overlord gonna be taking some damage, but he should be able to get to safety on top of this air vent thing. And yep, gonna be pretty safe there, at least until Bbreed decides to lift off this barracks. You know, that's probably on his mind, the way he's placing it there, I think. And we have seen Bbreed do that before. Looks like going to be a more standard game this time. Reactor on the barracks. Is he going to float that up? Switcheroo. There he goes. I'm going to start producing Hellions 2 at a time. Third barracks as well in the main. And oh, Timbo actually anticipating the liftoff actually flew away with the Overlord. Took some additional damage, but looks like he is gonna get away. So pretty good foresight perhaps from Timbo. Nice move there. Bbreed does have his expansion up, morphing that into an orbital. And that's gonna give him double mules, which is an excellent resource. And Timbo, he is committing heavily into Zerglings. He's got 26 on the field already. Now going up to 32. Ling speed moments away from finishing. Baneling Nest is already done. So it looks like Timbo is going for a bit of a Kevin Lee special. And I think he's gonna find a lot of damage. There is no wall here. Bbreed has been vulnerable to this in the past. He kinda just chills on no wall. And has he spotted that? I don't think so. So he still has no idea. In fact, Timbo could just run in with pure Lings if he wanted to. He is now morphing some Banelings. I don't think he even needs those, but hey, they are good units. And now the flood of Zerglings and Banelings come in. And a bit of an awkward spot there, but still gonna find the connections. And down goes the Terran army. And ooh! Banelings crashing into SCVs. 14, 15 down. 16, 18, and GG gets called. Timbo with a very fierce, the red, fierce strategy in game number 3, stealing him the 2-1 lead. Welcome back. This is game number 4 in this series between our teal Terran and changing colors once again. It's gonna be the pink Zerg Timbo Slice. So switching back from the red to the pink, I would expect a little bit more standard play out of Timbo this time. Unless it's all mind games. He wants Bbreed to think that the pink means he's going to be more passive and defensive. And then he goes for the same strategy once again. That would be quite a big brain move. I don't know if Timbo's brain is that big, but that would be a pretty cool move. He is going to go for a hatchery first. So a more standard opening. And Bbreed not one to deviate too much, but he is going for double gas. So maybe he wants to do a battle cruiser thing again. But we haven't seen any proxy shenanigans. We haven't seen too much cheesiness out of Bbreed. You could say Battlecruiser Rush is a little cheesy, but at this point in the game, it's kind of just another opening that Terrans can do. Timbo does have his spawning pool coming up at a normal time. Hasn't been going for his 3 hatch before pool openings, and I am glad he doesn't do that because it's very risky. Overlord gonna peek in just a little bit and gonna retreat back onto the safety of this cliff thing. Factory coming down behind this. Reactor on the way on the barracks. So you're gonna have to see, is it gonna be once again a starport as Bbreed gonna lift up this barracks? I'm gonna try to find that overlord, but wait, where'd it go? Timbo with the foresight once again, retreating that overlord to this second cliff location, escaping death. So nice play out of Timbo. He has really been on top of that the last 2 games. And now this second overlord in position to do some scouting should he choose to. Starport is going down behind the mineral line, and that position definitely screams battlecruiser. But the overlord flying in, and where is the marine? It was down here trying to get that overlord, so it's not in position to deny this scout, and Timbo is going to scout the starport behind the mineral lines. And if I were Bbreed, I would abandon the battlecruiser strategy at this moment. We'll see if he changes his mind. What's he gonna do? Timbo has the scout, and I would expect him to get more queens, get more spore crawlers. That's your cue, Timbo. Go for it. Not gonna do it just yet, but he should, given what he scouted. Or maybe he thinks that Bbreed won't commit to battle cruisers after scouting that, and maybe Timbo thinks he can get away without using spore crawlers, and maybe Bbreed thinks that Timbo thinks that Bbreed won't go for the battle cruisers, so Bbreed is going for the battle cruisers. There are levels to this, but Bbreed gonna start things off with this Hellion Marine attack, kind of a awkward attack, and Timbo wasn't really ready for it. He does have a few queens and zerglings, but not really ready. Does lose a single queen, loses mining time on this third, but he is going to be able to clean it up now. Bit of a over-committal to these zerglings, so now he's going to have to find some damage with them. Is he going to be able to do that? He's going to chase these units all the way back home to the Terran base, and oh, he's actually gonna run in. Is that gonna work out for him? Looks like, yeah, definitely. Gonna get all those Terran units, gonna start eating these SCVs. And what does Bbreed have? He's trying to get that battlecruiser, but it's only halfway done. Widowmine shots are good though. 9 kills on that first one. Second one in the back, only gonna get 3. And now there's still a bunch of Zerglings here, but 2 Hellions pop out just in the nick of time. They're gonna roast those Zerglings, and that's gonna be enough to push that back. Now the battlecruiser's almost done. What does Timbo have on the defense? Only 4 queens. That's not enough. And in comes the battlecruiser. Let's see how much damage he's going to be able to find. Going to take out that first queen real quick. Now going to turn its sights onto the drones. And this battlecruiser could fight the rest of the queens, but I don't know if he wants to waste time on them. They do have a few transfuses between them. Yeah, just go for the drones. Don't waste your time on the queens, I think. 8 drones, 9 so far. Now he's gonna get away from the naturals, set its sights onto the third. Timbo forced to pull the drones away from the third. And Timbo, in the face of danger, he just doesn't know what to do. He's not spending his larva. He's trying to make a few queens, but look at his money once again. It is skyrocketing up to 1,700 now. He's not making queens. I mean, he is making queens, but he's not making anything out of the larva that he has. He's not making any spore crawlers. And battlecruiser with its 9 kills, 9 drone kills rather, I think 2 of those are queens maybe, has caused so much damage both directly and indirectly, as Timbo still not spending his money. 2,400 at this point, and a few random widow mines have shown up as well. This battlecruiser gonna find another queen. That was one of the new ones that just popped. These widow mines gonna be enough to really lock down this position. Timbo cannot comfortably engage this. This third might just go down from this one battlecruiser. Timbo trying to come up to defend with a few queens. Now he's running in with the Zerglings, but oh, losing a lot of them to the widow mines and the Hellions. 2 Zerglings left, and now no Zerglings left. Oh, this is painful. Timbo once again with so much money in the bank, gonna lose that third. And he's just crumbling under the pressure of these 2 battlecruisers. And that one weakened one, gonna warp back home, get healed up. Right here, 25 kills, 34 HP. Did a good job. Needs to repair that. But the second battlecruiser with the widow mines on the back up, 2 Hellions as well. Timbo did finally make some spore crawlers, so it's going to be difficult for Bbreed to push into the natural. But I mean, he has locked Timbo down on 2 bases now. This battlecruiser gonna work on the spine crawler, and Timbo actually running past. Gonna see if he can find some counter damage, but probably not. That's not enough lings. And Bbreed has a sizable force of his own at the natural. And yeah, just gonna clean up that Zergling force, no problemo. And Timbo, what does he have left? He's stuck on 2 bases. Can't even spend his money. He does have a macro hatchery, which is nice, and actually has his Hydralisk den. Timbo loves his Hydras, but what else does he have? Not a whole lot. A few Zerglings, which will get melted by Hellions, Widow Mines, Battle Cruisers, just about everything that Bbreed has. The Hydras, they could be okay, but yeah, I just don't feel good about Timbo's position right now. 3 Battle Cruisers. Timbo gonna run in with his Zerglings, but once again, they can't hit air, so what does Bbreed have to fear? Oh, maybe these Hydras actually, as one of those Battle Cruisers do go down. And that's enough Hydras to give these Battle Cruisers pause. So, don't know if you want to be fighting this straight up. Actually, Hydra's pretty squishy, so loses a few of those. Bbreed gonna back up now. He does have his 3rd command center ready, and he can lift that off and land it whenever he wants. He's gonna do that now. Timbo trying to take his 3rd again as well at this triangular position, which is actually, I think, a worse position against air, because Battle Cruisers, they can go harass this location, and once Queens or Hydras show up down here, he can easily float into the main, and it'll take a long time for Hydras to circle all the way back around to protect the main. But Bbreed gonna be focusing on his macro now. He did just land his 3rd, so he kind of wants to defend that a little bit. Gonna pull his army back, repair that weakened Battle Cruiser, and he's fully committing to Battle Cruisers. He's getting another one in the production tab. He's also working on the Yamato cannon upgrade. Now, I don't know about this decision after seeing the Hydras. We'll have to see if it pays off for him. But it would be, I think, a good move to force the Hydras and then go for, like, I don't know what would be good against Hydras, like Blue Flame Hellions or tanks. And, well, what is this Battle Cruiser doing here? And Timbo sees it. He could get this for free. Both players kind of not watching. Who's gonna notice first? Anyone? Hello? We'll keep the screen here for now to see if Timbo realizes or Bbreed realizes. And Bbreed actually going for a 4th as well. And Timbo actually pulling his army back, so not gonna get that free Battle Cruiser. But Timbo going for a Nidus network. That could be spicy, but what vision does he have? Oh, a changeling. That'll do. And down goes that Nidus worm. Does Bbreed spot this? He does at the edge of his vision. But I think he's a little too focused on this Battle Cruiser harassment, and the worm is gonna pop out and outspill the Lings and Hydras. Now the rally points of Bbreed weren't properly set, so he did actually have a few tanks in position, but Timbo gonna be able to pick those off real easily. Now he's gonna work on that orbital, maybe not. It does go down, and oh, this is a big move from Timbo, taking out that natural. I think he actually could have fought this, just a single Battle Cruiser. But Timbo also going for, oh, I thought he was going for a double-pronged attack. That would have been nice. But a few of these Widow Mines, perhaps, were enough to push him away. This Nidus Worm's still alive, actually. He could make use of it, but no, maybe not. Battle Cruiser going to clean it up finally. That was a nice move from Timbo, definitely what he needed, and ooh, gonna catch some of these battlecruiser. 2 of them go down. Can he get a third? Maybe. Yes, he does get 3 of those battlecruisers for practically free, so big moves coming out of Timbo. Things were looking grim for quite a while, but that Nidus play, as well as catching those 3 battlecruisers, has definitely brought him back into the game. Now Timbo is going to need to drone back up, only sitting on 39 right now, but he is fully committing to the Hydras. He is kind of all in at this point, only at 39 drones. Bbreed is at 54, so the income going to be heavily favoring the Terran player. The army, however, going to be favoring the Zerg, so it's going to be up to Timbo, I think, to dictate where this game goes from here. If he forces an attack, perhaps he can close it out. A couple tanks are going to be very solid on the defense though, and Timbo sitting only on Hydras, no Lings or anything, so once these Hydras take damage, they will die very quickly. Bbreed, despite losing his main command center, he was already pretty much mined out, so not the biggest of deals, and he does have this 4th base, so Bbreed actually pretty comfortable right now. Now the army is kind of scary actually, with 4 siege tanks, but you gotta be careful when you're walking on creep, because Timbo can see all of this. He can jump on this when the tanks are not siege, and that's exactly what he does. Only 1 tank was able to siege, and all these Hydras are gonna jump on top of this army. Gotta get that 2nd tank. Yes, he does get it, and he's gonna be able to clean up most of this army, and gonna respect the rest of it. Another 2 tanks back here, so I don't think Timbo really wants to engage this. Needs to get some Lings, I think, to buffer for these Hydras. As we all know, Hydras way too squishy. I think they only have 90 HP at full health, so they kind of die super fast, but Bbreed doesn't have too much on his side either, and Timbo going kind of deep. Gonna pull back once again. Pure Hydra still in the production tab, so not going for any Lings. He did drone up a little bit, back up to 53, but Bbreed still with the lead at 65, and Bbreed actually floating a lot of money himself, 4.6k minerals, and oh, big opportunity here with 2 tanks unsieged, but don't want to go too deep as there are a lot of tanks in the back, and yeah, can't really engage the tanks with just pure Hydras, and this is where you need other stuff. Lings would be a good choice if he has Hive Tech, which he does. Vipers would be an excellent choice to blinding cloud those tanks. And Timbo, he could, I think, really solidify his position in this game if he went for Vipers, or he's got some Lings to buffer. But instead he's going nothing but Hydras, and they're gonna get obliterated by a deep tank line like this. So, wisely, perhaps, Timbo gonna go for a different location. He's gonna go for this newly established 4th base of Bbreed. Blast that down real quick. And now he's setting his sights on the natural of Bbreed. Bbreed, he doesn't care. He's going for an attack of his own. We might be seeing a bit of a base trade, but as the saying goes, you never want to base trade a Terran because they can lift off their buildings. It can be super annoying. We are in full base trade mode right now. Bbreed gonna take down this 3rd/4th base of Timbo. Even gonna take down some of the eggs and newly spawned Hydras. And this rally point, not the best. Oh, but the unsiege timing gonna be perfect to, well, he could have kept most of those Hydras alive, but he went for an odd fight there. And now Timbo, he's in a very strange position. He's running back with his Hydras, but he can't engage this. There's too many tanks. Actually, maybe if 2 tanks unsiege right there, but how can you really engage this? That's what Timbo's probably thinking at the moment. He's going to come in from the top, try to only engage a few tanks at a time, but look at how much damage he's taking, and this is exactly what I mean by the Hydras are too squishy. Only 2 Hydras remaining, one of them hanging by a thread at 4 HP, but I guess that's a defense. A few random SCVs here in the middle of nowhere, not sure what they are doing. So both players suffering heavy losses. Bbreed lost his natural, and that 4th that never really got a chance to mine or anything. But Bbreed's still sitting on the worker lead. He still has 2 fully mining bases. He still has only 1 orbital for mules. But Timbo, what does he have? He has 1 fully mining base here. Natural's completely mined out. Main is completely mined out. Well, save for this singular mineral patch, but this 4th, he hasn't really droned it up just yet. Workers now spawning to saturate that. So this is shaping up to be a very dicey game, and all 3 unsieged tanks. Timbo gonna capitalize on that. Bbreed not sieging his tanks, and that's gonna cost him that base once again. The supply counts still so even, and Bbreed with so much money in the bank. I think he needs to start just massing Hellbats or Hellions, which would do pretty okay against Hydras, I think. Hydras, of course, are light units. Hellbats and Hellions do bonus damage versus light units, so imagine if Bbreed had like 20 or 30 Hellions right now. They could do pretty good against Hydras. And they would also be the meat shields for the tanks, and that would help a lot just to buffer, to soak up damage. Meanwhile, the tanks can sit in the back and shell out their what are their weapons called? It's called like Crucio shock cannons or something. Sounds pretty cool. Now Bbreed finally gonna establish this base here. He has a pretty scary tank line here, 5 tanks. And Timbo trying to get his, I don't even know what base this is. I guess it's a 5th base, but he did have this base previously. We're just gonna call it a 5th base. Sitting at 25 minutes in this game number 4, and still pretty even in terms of everything, actually. Supply counts about 150. Workers favoring the Terran, but army pretty even as well. I do want Timbo to get something else. He is going for lurkers, but I want him to get like lings to buffer, maybe get some hive tech, which he has had for quite a while now. He's getting some lings now. but maybe throw in not lurkers, vipers. Maybe throw in a spire. Get some brood lords. Maybe brood lords can of course mess with the splash damage of siege tanks, but hold that thought. Timbo going for a huge attack right now with his, I think, 15 lurkers and a handful of hydras as well. And do these lurkers have their full upgrades? Yeah, they do. So they are going to be very scary. And how can Bbreed really effectively engage this? The answer is he can't. He cannot save that base. He is trying to leapfrog his tanks, and that is kind of what you have to do. But Timbo just going to rotate on out, maybe go for this base once again. There are a few siege tanks set up, so I don't know if he can get a favorable trade there. Actually, I think if he runs in with everything, he could, and that's what he's gonna do. But no, gonna bypass that base, and I don't like this too much because now he's kind of trapped. Bbreed is gonna be back soon, and then he's gonna trap Timbo in Bbreed's own main. But does it matter? There's so much Zerg here. And no, Bbreed is just going to go for the counterattack once again. And I think he still has some units in this Nidus network. A bit of a mistake there, not recognizing that earlier. So Timbo gonna be able to get out, in fact. And he is going to run all the way back home. And oh, some of these units taking a poor path and eat a lot of damage from these siege tanks. And Timbo, he has arrived back at home, and I don't think he took too much damage, to be quite honest. This base was mined out anyways, and these battle cruisers forced to teleport away. That Thor could not teleport, so loses its life there. And the game has now swung heavily into Timbo's favor. Good number of lings, and they are... Oh no, just go for that! You took so many hits on the lings, you were right there. I think he could have taken that fight, but Timbo gonna back up instead. Look for another angle. And Bbreed trying to get some more damage done at this 4th location. And these siege tanks doing a lot of damage, but now that the Zerg army has arrived, jump on top of the tanks, gonna get just about everything, indeed gets everything. And what does Bbreed have left at this point? He has a lot of money and not a whole lot else. Doesn't even have any production facilities remaining. He has 1 barracks, 1 starport it looks like, and he's trying to remake these factories here, but I mean, look at the supply. Bbreed sitting at 67. Timbo doubling him at 134. Timbo, I think he can end this game whenever he chooses. Gonna deny this new expansion. This 1 Marine trying to be a hero. Let's see how that works out for him. Plot twist. This 1 Marine. Nope, he's gonna go down, so... Not a Rambo Marine there. And Timbo, I mean, he's got everything right now. He has the worker lead, he has the army lead, he has the base lead, he has the upgrade lead? Upgrades pretty even, I guess. Both players sitting on 3-3 and +1 on their other upgrade. But what was that scan? Caught the tail end of that, but why did Bbreed scan his own base? I don't know if he spotted something kind of missed that. Another Marine trying to be a hero, but the drone's gonna nibble away at that Marine. And that's a pretty brutal way to die. I mean, look at these drones. Look at their little crabby claws. It probably doesn't hurt that much, but imagine just a bunch of drones surrounding you and like clamping you down with their claws. One battlecruiser also trying to be a hero, gonna fall to the Hydras real quick. I'm not sure what that was all about. Was that just a poor rally choice? Or no, that was intentional as Bbreed is changing his rallies up. Not sure why he flew that battlecruiser in all by its lonesome, but did lose that real quick. And it looks like neither player really changing things up. Bbreed still getting battlecruisers and tanks and Hellbats. Timbo still going for his Hydra Lurker Ling composition. And it's working for him, so can't really fault him too much. I would like to see some more Hive tech. I would like to see him use these units in the Nidus network. But Timbo's in a pretty good spot right now. He has all the bases on his side of the map. And somehow, some way, this has turned into a split map situation as Bbreed has just established this final base of his. And ooh, look at that! Vipers are on the field and they are at max energy. Let's see how Timbo's Viper control is. Throw down some blinding clouds and look at that. These tanks rendered completely useless. Excellent play there out of Timbo. Should probably do something, but I guess it doesn't really matter given his lead. Still need to be a little bit careful. These Vipers not really doing much at the moment. Oh, this one did drop another blinding cloud. And Timbo, he just has so much at the moment. And Bbreed has nothing. He's gonna lose most of these supply depots probably. Then Timbo can come up this ramp. He has energy on those Vipers to drop blinding clouds, but not gonna go for that. I mean, that's essentially a free base if he drops the blinding clouds on the tanks and that planetary, but not gonna go for that. And it doesn't really matter, just extending the game a little bit as we see Timbo more than doubling Bbreed's supply at the moment. And Timbo has the whole world in his hands right now. 20 additional Hydras in the production tab. These Vipers have shown back up. And where is Timbo gonna go? The Hydras have spawned. And he has 47 Hydras right now. He yoinks that battlecruiser into all the Hydras, takes that down, lickety split, drops a blinding cloud on some of these tanks, pick those off. Could use another one on these two back here. Not that it matters all too much. He's taking a lot of fire. And not gonna press the issue actually, at least not until the Vipers show back up. And hello, we need to do something with those Vipers. Okay, drops one blinding cloud there. And yeah, I mean it's not the most favorable trade, but Timbo has so much bank, so much Hydras. GG finally gets called. Timbo gonna take that 35-minute game.